The thumbnail-sized SD card was developed around the turn of the century. It represented a potential solution to several problems with portable storage. Experts, anticipating an explosion of mobile devices in the coming decade, recognized the need for smarter storage design. At the time, the portable storage landscape was cluttered, confusing, and expensive. A more cost-effective, versatile standard would open more possibilities, so SanDisk, Panasonic, and Toshiba combined to form the SD Association. In 2000, the SD Association released a 64 MB prototype that was a dramatic improvement over its direct predecessor, multimedia cards, MMCs. The SD card quickly became the standard for portable electronics behind better usability, faster read and write speeds, and larger storage sizes. As of 2022, SD cards are found in thousands of mobile device models and can even reach sizes of 128 terabytes. That's over a million times larger than the first SD card. SD cards are the portable storage and transport option for files on tablets and smartphones. Secure Digital, SD, is a proprietary, non-volatile, flash memory card format developed by the SD Association, SDA. They come in three physical forms: the full-size SD, the smaller mini SD, no longer in wide use, and the smallest micro SD. Owing to their compact size, SD cards have been widely adopted in a variety of portable consumer electronics, including digital cameras, camcorders, video game consoles, mobile phones, action cameras, and camera drones. The SD format was introduced in August 1999 by SanDisk, Panasonic, then known as Matsushita, and Kioxia, then part of Toshiba. It was designed as a successor to the multimedia card, MMC, format, introducing several improvements aimed at enhancing usability, durability, and performance, which contributed to its rapid emergence as an industry standard. To manage the licensing and intellectual property rights related to the format, the three companies established SDXC, LLC. In January 2000, they also founded the SDA, a non-profit organization dedicated to developing and promoting SD card standards. As of 2023, the SDA includes approximately 1,000 member companies. The SDA uses a suite of SDXC-owned trademarked logos to enforce compliance with official specifications and to indicate product compatibility. In 1994, SanDisk introduced the Compact Flash, CF, format, one of the first successful flash memory card types. CF outpaced several competing early formats, including the miniature card and smart media. However, the late 1990s saw a proliferation of proprietary formats such as Sony's Memory Stick and the XD picture card from Olympus and Fujifilm, resulting in a fragmented memory card market. To address these challenges, SanDisk partnered with Siemens and Nokia in 1996 to develop a new postage stamp-sized memory card called the Multimedia Card, MMC. While technically innovative, MMC adoption was slow, and even Nokia was slow to integrate support for it into its mobile devices. In 1999, SanDisk was approached by Panasonic, then known as Matsushita, and Kioxia, then part of Toshiba, to develop a new format as a second-generation successor to MMC. The goal was to create a portable, high-performance memory card with integrated security features and broader interoperability. Concerned about losing market share to Sony's proprietary memory stick, Toshiba and Panasonic saw the collaboration as an opportunity to establish an open, industry-backed standard. Panasonic and Toshiba had previously collaborated on the Super Density Disc, a DVD predecessor, and reused its stylized D logo for the new Secure Digital, SD, card. They also contributed requirements for digital rights management, DRM, anticipating the rise of MP3 players and seeking to reassure content publishers wary of piracy. The SD card incorporated DRM features based on the Secure Digital Music Initiative, SDMI, and included a mechanical write-protect switch to prevent accidental overwriting of data. Early SD card slots were also backward compatible with existing MMC cards. In early 2000, the first commercial SD cards offering 8 MB of storage were released, with larger capacity versions following shortly after. By August 2000, 64 MB cards were being sold for approximately $200, equivalent to $365 in 2024. According to SanDisk, consumer adoption was accelerated by Toshiba and Panasonic's commitment to launching compatible devices in parallel with the cards. To support standardization and interoperability, SanDisk, Toshiba, and Panasonic announced the creation of the SD Association, SDA, at the January 2000 Consumer Electronics Show, CES. Headquartered in San Ramon, California, the SDA initially included 30 member companies and has since grown to encompass around 800 organizations worldwide. In short, that means SD cards can read or write data without a continuous power supply. An SD card can add or remove electrons and change the voltage within one of its cells through complex electrical processes using complementary materials. Once programmed, the SD card stores data on NAND or NOR chips. Sometimes, a combination of the two fulfills different storage objectives. Regardless, the result is a persistent storage system. Another critical characteristic of the SD card is the absence of moving parts. A durable, wear-resistant design is crucial to long-term performance considering its role in mobile computing. Occasionally, SD cards are equipped with a right lock mechanism to protect data further. The switch is located on the left side of the card and prevents old data from being erased and new data from being saved. Sliding the switch down enables right lock. To resume regular read and write functions, slide the switch upward. An SD card, short for Secure Digital Card, is a type of removable storage device used to store and transfer digital data. It is commonly used in electronic devices such as digital cameras, smartphones, tablets, and portable gaming consoles. What are the different types of SD cards? There are several types of SD cards available, including the standard SD card, mini SD card, and micro SD card. The standard SD card is the largest in size, followed by the mini SD card, and the micro SD card is the smallest. It's important to note that the larger cards can generally be used in devices that support smaller cards with the use of an adapter. What is the storage capacity of an SD card? SD cards come in a variety of storage capacities, ranging from a few megabytes to several terabytes. The most common capacities include 2 GB, GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB, 64 GB, 128 GB, and 256 GB. Higher capacity cards allow you to store more photos, videos, music, and other files on your device. What can I use an SD card for? An SD card can be used for various purposes. You can use it to expand the storage capacity of your smartphone or tablet, allowing you to store more photos, videos, apps, and other files. Additionally, you can use an SD card to transfer files between devices or to back up important data. Can I store apps on an SD card? Yes, many Android trademark devices allow you to store apps on an SD card. This feature can be especially useful if your device has limited internal storage. To move apps to the SD card, go to the device's settings, then find the Apps or Applications section. From there, select the app you want to move and choose the option to move it to the SD card if available. How do I format an SD card? To format an SD card, you can usually use the formatting options within your device's settings or through a computer. On most devices, you can go to the Settings menu, select Storage or Memory, then find the option to format the SD card. If you prefer to format it using a computer, you can insert the SD card into a card reader, connect it to your computer, and use the formatting options available in your operating system. Can I use an SD card on multiple devices? Yes, you can use an SD card on multiple devices if compatible with SD cards. You can remove the SD card from one device and insert it into another without losing your data. However, keep in mind that some devices may require you to format the SD card before using it, which will erase all the data stored on it. What should I do if my SD card is not recognized by my device? If your SD card is not recognized by your device, there are a few troubleshooting steps you can try. First, make sure the SD card is properly inserted into the device. If it is inserted correctly and still not recognized, try inserting it into another device or a card reader to see if it works there. If the card still isn't recognized, it could be a compatibility issue or a problem with the card itself, and you may need to replace it. Can I recover data from a corrupted SD card? Yes, it is possible to recover data from a corrupted SD card. There are various data recovery software programs available that can help you retrieve your files. These programs work by scanning the card for recoverable data and allowing you to select and restore the files you want. However, it's important to note that not all data may be recoverable, especially if the card is severely damaged. Can I use an SD card as a backup for my important files? Yes, you can use an SD card as a backup storage option for your important files. By regularly copying your files to an SD card, you can create a secondary copy of your data that can be easily accessed or transferred to another device if needed. It's always good practice to keep multiple backups of your important files to prevent data loss. Can I use an SD card to transfer files between devices? Yes, an SD card is a convenient way to transfer files between devices. You can copy files from one device to the SD card, then insert the card into another compatible device and transfer the files onto it. This method is particularly useful for transferring photos, videos, music, and documents between devices that may not be directly connected or compatible. Are all SD cards the same in terms of speed? No, not all SD cards are the same in terms of speed. SD cards are categorized into different speed classes, such as Class 2, Class 4, Class 6, and Class 10. These classes represent the minimum write speeds of the cards. For example, a Class 10 SD card has a minimum write speed of 10 megabytes per second. If you're working with large files or capturing high-resolution videos, it's recommended to use a higher speed class card for better performance. Can I password protect my SD card? Yes, you can password protect your SD card to secure your data. There are several software programs available that allow you to encrypt and password protect the contents of your SD card. By using encryption, you can ensure that your files are protected even if the SD card falls into the wrong hands. Can I use an SD card to store and play videos on my gaming console? Yes, many gaming consoles, such as the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation Vita, have an SD card slot that allows you to store and play videos. You can transfer video files onto the SD card and insert it into the console. From there, you can access the videos and play them directly on your gaming console. Can I use an SD card to transfer files from my computer to my smartphone? Yes, you can use an SD card to transfer files from your computer to your smartphone. First, copy the files you want to transfer onto the SD card using a card reader connected to your computer. Once the files are on the SD card, remove it from the card reader and insert it into your smartphone. You can then access the files on your smartphone and use them as needed. Can I use an SD card to back up my smartphone's data? Yes, an SD card can be used as a backup storage option for your smartphone's data. Most smartphones allow you to back up your data, including contacts, photos, videos, and app data, to an SD card. This ensures that your important data is safely stored on the card and can be easily restored if you need to factory reset your phone or switch to a new device. The lifespan of an SD card is another reason for its inclusion in mobile devices. Due to its lack of moving parts, a card can last a decade or longer with regular usage. Improper usage leads to shorter life expectancies. Do not force the SD card into its slot. Do not expose the card to extreme temperatures or water. Keeping the SD card from an electromagnetic field is paramount, as interference can disrupt storage and lead to data loss. SD card recovery can be a complex endeavor. It does not matter whether the files have become corrupted or if the card itself suffered minor damage, such as pin misalignment. It could be the result of accidental formatting. Whatever the reason, being separated from data is a stressful event. Fortunately, users can take a few steps to resolve the issue. Some potential fixes are simple, like using the card on a different device or changing the card reader. Others might require professional recovery software. Nevertheless, restoring data from an unresponsive SD card is possible, even in extreme cases. Thank you for watching this video.